Check 1, 2. What's up, everybody? It's Jacob. This is a pop-up live. I'm not really sure if anybody will show up, but I'm just testing a new configuration of my OBS setup. So do a little bit of polish, a little bit of extra motion, and some extra effects that I'll be slowly implementing. So I just wanted to at least get what I have working already before I start piling on extra stuff, because I got a lot of buttons on this thing here that I gotta push, and it's hard to keep track. But anyway, maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't, but I got a new fill light. So this side of my face was always kind of dark, and feels like, yeah, it's a little brighter. So I'm liking this. But anyway, looks like there's a couple of viewers come in, and I just thought I'd talk a little bit about end of the year and some things that have been going on. You know, and kind of review some things that have happened on the channel, and then we'll watch a couple YouTube videos with the new setup and just kind of see how it all goes, how it all rolls. But anyway, yeah, it's been a rough year for your boy Jacob. I got laid off back in March of 2024, and it took me all the way to September of this year to find part-time work. And yeah, so it's yeah, it's definitely been a drain on my resources and my mental energy. But you know, y'all have been here with me, hanging out in the live streams, and I just want to say I really appreciate your support over the year. You know, I wouldn't keep doing this without the viewers, to be honest. Although, you know, when I first, let's see, I started this in October of 24, and by December of that year, the channel really took off, and then the algorithm changed like 3 or 4 times since then. So I don't get quite the viewers that I used to, but that's all good, because there's important messages that I want to get out there. So at least I have a few viewers. It's all worth it. Oh, hey, Lily. See, I just woke you up there over in the UK. But thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I don't know if you missed it, but I revamped my OBS configuration. So you're going to see a lot of things swooshing around. But yeah, so let's just real quick, I just kind of want to talk about like where I was like last year or a year ago when I first set up my studio. Let me see here. Where is, yeah, here we go. So yeah, there's your boy Jacob with his hippie hair. And I bought this like really lame ass camera, thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna live stream on this thing, and it's just terrible. And but you know, you learn as you do these things, and really I guess what I'm trying to say is really the only way you're gonna move forward in anything is just to push through, make mistakes. There I'm explaining how I have my big dual monitor system. Anyway, yeah, fresh off losing my job. So that's my old desk with my old working chair. But anyway, yeah, I squirrel, I do that. Yeah, you just got to push through. You just got to make mistakes. And, you know, I made a lot of them, made a lot of goofball mistakes setting up my live stream. Cause there in the back, you've got, let's see, I don't even have my tchotchkes. So if you look here behind me, I got my tchotchkes, so they're not there yet. And I had a whole bunch of stuff over here, and got my fill light in, so now my face is full. And some other things that I did this year is I set up a mobile rig. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to still do the YouTube studio, or I'm sorry, the studio videos, which I normally, you know, do. Those are like my longer form ones. And then I'm going to record, I think I'm going to do more shorts, doing storytelling, you know, more B-roll, more cinematography, just to kind of have another spot to do that over there, another outlet over there. And so I purchased a couple new cameras, and the fill light that I got here, that actually, I can take it off the stand, and I have a little handle for it, and I can actually take that and film and light while I'm filming. Because something else that I'm going to do is I've been wanting to do this for a year. I want to go on the street, and I want to interview people about what their fears, their thoughts, and their concerns are about AI. And yeah, I don't know if that's something that maybe y'all wanna see on this channel, but it's something that maybe for like a document that I want to make, because that's one of the things that I want to do is I want to do more documentaries. So I may actually focus more on the shorts eventually, and then make big launches with documentaries that are much more informative, have much more cinematography. Oh, great, Lily. Yeah, I'm glad that you enjoy the shorts. It seems like they take just as much effort to make as they do at least like to record. They take a little more effort to record because you have to do quick, lots of shots, lots of edits. But the editing to me is a lot faster. So I'd rather just spend more time filming, because then I can get outside and do the things that I've been wanting to do with my new equipment, is to learn how to get better at filming, lighting. Whoops. That's what I get for looking at myself. I'm just making it worse. What am I doing? There we go. Backwards world. Everything's a mirror. But yeah, so part of that was getting the fill light. I also downloaded new editing software. Yeah, quick cuts for the low attention span. That's definitely true. A lot of ADHD going on these days. But it forces me to do storytelling in a more economical way. I don't know if that's the right term. I didn't go to film school, but I feel like that when I shot, not this one, see, I did another one where I actually showed the rig. I didn't plan this. I just, I got up one day, part of the thing of making mistakes and just pushing through it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just, even though I don't really know how to use my new gimbal camera, I'm just going to pull it out. I'm going to start filming. And as I started getting all my equipment, I'm like, oh, I'll just film myself packing my bag and do a little ASMR thing. And that took me like half an hour to do. And I'm like, all right, so I'm going to get in my car. And they're like, oh, wait, I got to check my microphone. And so I just kind of learned to just do it. Just go out and do it. It's terrible photography, terrible sound, but that was my first attempt. And I feel like I did an okay job with the story, building at least a story, because that was my most successful video in the last 6 months. Of course, YouTube is pushing shorts more often these days, but yeah, so that's just my plan. Is I want to make I've always wanted to do more cinematography, more specifically around documentaries, and make more informative videos, instead of just kind of sitting and blabbing in front of the camera like I do on these live streams, and kind of do when I do my reaction videos, because I very rarely script anything. I just off the cuff do most of my videos. But anyway, enough of the shorts. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but check this out. Like look at the transitions, like zip, zip, zoom, like shrinks and goes in and out and all kinds of other cool stuff. So yeah, so just part of just building what I had already and making it more animated. And I'm going to add more things as we go along. Let's see here. Let me get up the next. I wanted to pull up a video here and react to it. And again, this is just a pop-up live. I just wanted to see if my stuff's working. So put a 1 in the chat if you can even hear me. I guess that you can if you are sending me chats responding to what I'm saying. But if I switch scenes and suddenly the sound cuts out, let me know. I did test everything, but you never know. Live is different. Let's see here. I need to pull up my next thingamading. Yeah, all right. So what are the things that that's coming? That's kind of something that's perpetually. Oh, thanks, Lily. I appreciate that. One of the things that's always perpetually coming. Well, actually, there's 4 things. There's flying cars. There's jetpacks. There's fusion, which supposedly we're always like 10 years away from getting fusion. But apparently this year there have been some major breakthroughs. And the 4th thing is quantum computing. And apparently there's a company that has come out and said that they are now able to build quantum computers at scale, which I don't really exactly know what that means, because we don't really have quantum computers like out in the public for use. So I just kind of find it odd that a company tries to solve the scale problem before they even like build the things and sell them. But another thing too is I worked at IBM in the 90s out of college, and I was up in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, and there were 3 campuses that I supported. And one of the campuses was in Santa Teresa. Don't have to know where that is. But anyway, that's where they did a lot of research in quantum computing back in the mid 90s. And I remember reading a newsletter going through IBM saying, oh yeah, we got the first single qubit. We actually are able now to manipulate a qubit. And that's the core, one of the core components in storing information in a quantum computer. So if you know a little bit about current computers, they're binary. They're either 0 or 1s, off or on. With qubits, think of like a bit, but instead of a bit being just off or on, it's a sphere that has a little vector inside of it, and it can point in, I don't know how many different directions, but it can represent many values simultaneously as well because of the superposition thing with quantum physics, which I won't get into because I barely understand it myself. But that actually might be a good documentary for me to make. But anyway, I wanted to pull up a video because my alma mater or my former employer, IBM, apparently had a big breakthrough with quantum computers. And the other big thing about quantum computing is that this will be where the next major technological leap is going to be in terms of AI. A lot of people believe that we won't get to AGI, artificial general intelligence, until we have the computing capabilities of quantum computing. Although it's a whole different programming language and compilation and creating code and generating code. It's a whole different level of problems. Very few people know how to program it. But there are, like I said, there are many people that believe in science, in the scientific circles, that we won't be able to get to artificial general intelligence until we have our breakthrough in quantum computing. So let's kind of see what the current state is here. We're going to go over to just check and make sure I still have my levels. Okay. All right. So let's watch this news report on IBM's current breakthrough. Let's see, this video is called IBM's Mind-Blowing Quantum Computer, which, by the way, they've had this for quite a while. But quantum computers have, they're very error prone, and they have to run at 0 degree Kelvin, which is no atomic movement, 0 particle movement. So not freezing, but where there's no atomic energy or near that state. So they can't run at room temperature and blow a fan on it and cool it off. So not only do we have AI where we're going to have to run these computers, you know, with tons of electricity and cool them off, but now we got the extra added problem with quantum computing where we have to have super cooled data centers. So I don't know how we're going to get there, but that's going to even take more energy that we don't have already. But anyway, let's get to the video. I get excited about this stuff. So here we go.
IBM unveiling its new Nighthawk quantum processor, one of the fastest computers in the world. Fox Business's Lauren Simonetti got an inside look at IBM's lab and the new technology that goes with it. Watch this.
This giant machine is a quantum computer. You can see it looks nothing like a regular computer or a classical computer, but it is being used to develop medicines.
I hate to break it to you, lady. It looks exactly like a classic computer. You ever see those old computers from the 60s?
Build better batteries and even increase your financial performance.
You can think of it as kind of like a new computational tool that you didn't have before that can solve problems that you couldn't solve before. It is like sci-fi come to life.
Scott Crowder leads IBM's work in quantum technology. He helped develop its most powerful processor yet.
I know what I'm holding is important because I had to put gloves on. What is this?
You have to put gloves on when you touch anything in a computer, but anyway. Oh, hey, Night Owl. Thanks for coming out. This is a pop-up live, by the way. I just wanted to test my new setup. Anyhow, yes. So, you know, with quantum computing, I don't know the numbers, but you can do many orders of magnitude more computations in the same amount of time. Just to kind of give you a layman's understanding, And again, I am not a quantum computing expert, but just to kind of help you get your head around how powerful quantum computing is, one of the big fears that cybersecurity specialists have, just making it worse. There we go. Backwards world. That's what you get for talking into a mirror, kids. Anyway, so one of the big fears with cybersecurity specialists with quantum computing is that the current encryption that we have. So when you open a web browser and you look at the little web address, if you always look to the left or your left, you'll see a little lock up there. And that's that tells you that your communication between your web browser and whatever the website lives is encrypted. So the data going from your browser to the server on the web is encrypted. So somebody else couldn't just sit there and, watch the data and decode passwords, your login, all that stuff. But with quantum computing, actually, let me back up. With everyday computing today, a typical encryption, I think, is 256 bits. 1024. Just depends on how strong it is, but it's a range. I think the last figure I heard, it would take today's most powerful computer about 5 years to just hack it, like to brute force remove the data encryption, to be able to at least figure out 1 byte, right? What 1 byte is. But with quantum computing, this encryption could be brute force cracked in a matter of seconds. So it's not so much that we won't be able to improve the encryption along the way. It's that there are bad actors that are currently recording everything on the internet that they can and storing it later, so that when quantum computing comes out, they can replay the internet, so to speak, and crack everything. So all the more reason to change your passwords quite regularly, right? So don't be using the same password you had 20 years ago on every single website. You really should use a keyword manager. Anyway, so yeah, that's a big thing about the quantum computing, just to give you an idea of like how strong, how fast these, just in layman's terms, the current way that we secure data could just be cracked like that with quantum computing. So that's a really big concern with cybersecurity specialists. Anyway, last we left off, she was holding something with gloves. So let's get more into that. All right, here we go.
This is our new quantum chip or quantum processor called Nighthawk. It's about 30% more efficient than our previous generation.
It's housed in what looks like a giant refrigerator.
How
It
cold
is.
does it get in there?
So it gets 15 millikelvin. It's one of the coldest places in the universe.
Like colder than outer space?
Like 1,000 times colder than outer space.
And inside, what looks like a golden chandelier is actually the workhorse of the operation, sending signals to the powerful quantum chip located at the bottom where it's icy cold.
It's funny, I look at this quantum computer and it looks totally fake and cheesy, like something it would be in a movie or like a 1960s sci-fi. But I've seen several of these, and this is how they are built. I don't understand why the design is the way it is, but they are super cooling it. And I think the chip is in this box in here. That's that, what was you said, the 15 millikelvins or whatever it was, almost near zero. No atomic activity. Oops.
The system is often linked to artificial intelligence, but AI teaches machines how to think. Quantum computing gives them a new way to think.
Quantum computing will probably help AI become more accurate in the future, but it's not replacing AI.
Companies are already using IBM's technology. Boeing for more durable planes, Moderna, more effective vaccines, and HSBC, better trading outcomes.
Right now, the most advanced quantum computers on the planet are built by people in the United States, but replacing AI.
Hold on, I think I missed something. Did they say that these quantum computers are being used by Boeing already?
Companies are already using IBM's
Yes.
technology. Boeing for more durable planes, Moderna, more effective vaccines, and HSBC, better trading outcomes.
Right
Yeah,
now,
let's have supercomputers trading against everyone's capability. Yeah, that's kind of the main reason why I don't like to do a lot of trading, because there are a lot of bots, especially in cryptocurrencies, and a little bit in stocks. But yeah, you'll know if you trade a lot, you'll see that cryptos are a lot more algorithmic. But those are not necessarily AI bots. They're just programs at this point. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting. So I don't know what you all think of that, but I was just kind of curious to see where they are. I didn't realize that they actually were using them commercially. I thought they were still in the experimental stage because I know they're very error prone because of the temperature problems and superposition, where you can have well, I won't get into the physics. I barely understand it, but let's just say that they make they're very error prone because of the trying to keep them super cold. Okay, let's get to the next video here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like do this new live setup and talk at the same time. It's a little bit different here. So let's go for some nostalgia. It's the end of the year and everybody gets a little nostalgic. And I thought it'd be funny to kind of look at 1983, what a computer addict looked like in 1983. So this is an old BBC video, an archival news footage. So BBC, don't get all cranky on me. I am transforming this work with my commentary. Let's proceed.
Morning.
Chris Carter works for a large borough council. He's their operations manager in the computer department.
All right, Lily, what's a borough council? I don't know what that is. Or bureau council. You have to school me on that. I have no idea what that is.
Chris Carter works for a large borough council. He's their operations manager in the computer department. He works hard, but not so hard as to leave no time for pleasure. At lunchtime, he goes to the pub. Actually, he doesn't like pubs all that much, but then he doesn't go there to drink and socialize.
Oh, hey, Lily. Good evening. Thanks for coming out tonight. All right. Let's get back to it.
As long as there's a computer game in sight, Chris Carter is happy.
Pubs without machines don't have a lot for me. I'm not interested in filling myself full of beer. If I found a machine, I'll stay with it until I mastered it, usually. I can achieve some startlingly high scores by finding the chinks in the armour of the person that programmed it.
There are
Man, just hearing that music brings me back.
disadvantages. Usually, Chris has mastered the latest game within 2 or 3 days,
No, it's Mr.
while the
Dude.
machines are only changed over once a month. And he doesn't like the smoke and noise in the pub. It hinders concentration. So in the evenings, he stays at home, where he can get on with his hobby in peace and quiet.
Now listen to this keyboard. Look, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Mechanical.
Chris Carter has spent thousands of pounds on microcomputers, the kind you can just about fit into the spare bedroom. He puts in 20 to 40 hours a week at the keyboard, day and night, often right through the night. The revolution that brought the computer into the home didn't change his social life, it destroyed it.
Boy, that's some ground-shattering news there. What do you think, crew, chat? Have computers destroyed your social life? You know, it's funny. I remember when laptops started getting more affordable, and I bought a card that you could get on. You had cellular data card you can put into your laptop. Of course, the laptop was like that thick back then. And I remember I would go to Starbucks. This is way before they had Wi-Fi anywhere. And I'd put that cellular card in there, flip up that little antenna. I'd sit there hacking on my computer. People would walk in and look at me like, what the hell is this guy doing? What a nerd. Now you walk into Starbucks, nobody looks up. Nobody makes eye contact. Everybody's on their damn computer. I was a trailblazer. I'm just going to say it. All right, let's get back to it. I didn't have a social life either back then. Okay, here we go.
So great is Chris's enthusiasm that he's even got his 3-year-old daughter Joanna learning some of the basic skills. She'll be even better at computing when she's learnt the alphabet. But what Chris is grappling with at the moment is the kind of program that could transfer.
Good Lord. Look at all those are line numbers on the left. I don't know what language that is. Doesn't look like BASIC. I guess it is BASIC. Yeah. I don't know. It's old school.
Huge areas of professional expertise into the computer, so that he could have the knowledge of the doctor, the lawyer, or the architect at his fingertips.
I've been doing one on house selection or house design. And the method of doing this is putting in the parameters which will tell you what sort of house will be best in what sort of area, on what sort of soil.
And how long did it take you to work that system out?
Well, there's 2 components to it. Writing the program will probably take most of my free time for about 3 months.
I think this dude's on the spectrum.
And then assimilating all the knowledge to put into the program, and it'll be far from complete, will probably take the same amount of period.
The newscaster's just giving him the side eye. Like, look at this mother. That's the look I got when I first started talking about computers. It's the look I get now when I talk about AI to all my relatives.
Do you think you'll use it? Will it be of any practical value at all?
You're joking. I'll have a house by then. I'm looking for one at the moment. I doubt very much that it will be of real use to me.
Yeah, this guy's got Blofeld vibes.
So why do you do it?
It's a problem. It's there. Why do people climb mountains?
I mean, some people might think that you've really become obsessed with it, addicted.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's not a major addiction. It's not one that costs me a lot of money in real terms. It costs me a lot of time, but it's time when my wife's asleep normally.
And mind you, this is in an era before we had social media, internet, cat videos. Couldn't even play music on the computer. The best you could get is that 8-bit music, and that was with a special chip. So, yeah.
I mean, there are some weeks when he'll get up at 5 in the morning because he's working on an idea, and he'll wait. As soon as he wakes up, he'll go and sit down on the machine and start working on it. And I'm semi-conscious, and I hear tap, 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 tap from the spare room.
That's a mechanical keyboard. Those things were serious.
I mean, if the same situation had gone on for years, I would begin to think Chris would be better off in a room on his own with the microcomputer, and because that's what he was absorbed doing all of his time.
You have to remember the benefits. There are benefits in this stuff.
Oh, there are, but it's just I want to see something of you as well, you see.
Yeah.
It's a bright and sunny day, just...
Hey, Night Owl. Yeah, no, we had dial-up back then. Yeah, 1983. There's definitely dial-up. It was a luxury item. That was probably back in the day when you had to have the cradle, and you put because the phone would be like that. You have in your ear, and then the speaker, and you put it in a cradle, and then it was called a coupler, and it was airtight, and yeah, dialed over a handheld telephone. So this is before you even had the modems card inside the computers. So that's probably those came a few years later. Yeah, there's 3 of them in that marriage, Lily. Yeah, do you think that guy would be married today? I don't know. Interesting. It's a different time. Okay, let's keep going.
Just right for a stroll in
He'd probably be married to the computer today.
the fresh air. But businessman Graham Hawker has got a problem that's keeping him indoors. He's trying to locate the Princess of Serenia, who's been abducted by a wizard.
Okay, so this guy is serious when he's standing and using his computer. That looks like an Apple IIe with 2 floppy disk drives. So that's a disk drive. There's another one there. And I'm thinking he probably has a coupler somewhere nearby. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. That looks like a teletype. This is another computer with another dedicated monitor. Or maybe he's sharing the monitor. Oh, you know what? This might be his modem. Yeah.
But on the way to the wizard's castle in the mountains, his way is blocked by a giant. It turns out that he can charm his way past the giant by playing the harp.
Well, those graphics are to die for.
This kind of computer game is partly a question of trial and error. Incorrect moves by the player are greeted with suitably dismissed.
Let's see, what is this? 1 gold coin each. You are in the foothills on the north side of the mountains. Enter command. Bye. That's cool. Yeah, text-based adventure games. That was all the rage.
Dismissive replies. Graham Hawker admits that his relationship with home computers has been little short of obsessive.
What is the thrill, though, that you get out of pitting your wits against a computer?
Good Lord, that wallpaper. Wow.
Well, I think there are two things. The first is that the computer's perfect. It doesn't make mistakes. It responds in an absolutely predictable way.
I don't agree with that. Actually, having been a software engineer most of my life, my career, computers are actually the most stupid machines in the world. They do exactly what you tell them. So it's who programs it that makes it perfect, if that's what he thinks.
So in exploring anything that the computer's doing with you, anything that happens that you didn't want to happen is purely your fault. It can't be the other side. The other side's perfect. So in a sense, you're pitting yourself against a perfect machine, trying to prove that you're just as perfect.
By the way, I just realized bro's wearing a suit and tie. So I don't know if this is for the interview, but you know, I'm fronting the Zuckerberg look here with the hoodie. This is the classic software engineer look right here. Staying nice and toasty underneath the air conditioner.
Trying to prove that you're just as perfect.
Hello, Jill.
Computer addicts tend to be men or boys, but Phyllis Arundale, who runs a sweet shop in Hertfordshire, proves that you don't have to be male to be computer mad. She bought one.
Oh, you know this chick, this old lady, she worked at Bletchley Circle. She was decoding the Enigma stuff, or she was working on the Enigma machine.
to help out with the accounts. The computer did in seconds what had previously taken her 4 or 5 hours of paperwork every night. And what did she do with the time she saved? She became a computer enthusiast. But devising her own programs and getting inside the mind of the machine wasn't good enough for her.
My latest project is, you see the link with the shop, the box? That's a potentiometer. I'm doing my first project, which is printed circuit board, PCB.
What's that?
Well, the printed circuit board, it's the beginning of the computer in actually making your own computer, your own electronic gadget, as it were.
That's pretty cool. I remember Hobby Electronics. I think that's how Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they got started. They bought kits that you could get at conventions, and they built their own their first computers. And they're like, oh, I can do better than that. So they actually knew how the damn things worked. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Night Owls, that she worked during World War II at Bletchley Circle. That was they had a group of women mathematicians that worked along, I think, not alongside, but in conjunction with Alan Turing, who made his little, I forgot what he called his device that had all the dials on it that they would run to crack all the Enigma machine transmissions. And I believe the story goes that the Nazis would have been 100% successful with their encryption had they not ended every single message with Heil Hitler, because that's how they figured out what the code was, because they every message was Heil Hitler. So like, oh, if we know what the last phrase is, then we can like reverse decode it and then apply that to the rest of the message. That's how they cracked it. So, that's classic cryptography. Don't keep using the same patterns.
And that is a potentiometer that I need for the my
Potentiometer is
first
just a dial.
That's a dual potentiometer, and that is the single one. And these are the capacitors. And
But this is quite amazing. I mean, you're not content with programming computers. You want to make them yourself now.
Well, it's a challenge. It's exciting. And after all, this is the very beginning of the whole thing, so I like to start at the beginning.
She's going to need a CPU to get rolling there. I don't know why you need 2 dials and a row of capacitors, but cool. She's probably just doing hobby electronics on the side.
And then I'll know how the computer even begins to operate before I can do any more peripherals. If I'm successful with this project, I shall do something a little more adventurous.
You're not becoming a sort of computer addict, are you?
Well, I don't know. I may be an addict, but I call myself an enthusiast, not an obsessive person.
In a bit of a dilemma at the moment. I don't really know what I want to use it for.
In 1982, the salesmen had their best year so far with home computers. There are now about 700,000 of them in Britain.
Hey, Night Owl, you're in my age group. You remember going to the stores and seeing all these cartridges with the games, and this is a period of time when the cartridges were way more interesting than the graphics in the games. I remember it would be like the graphics on like the paintings on the cartridges were like really incredible and exciting, and then you put it in the box and it just goes bleep 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 bleep. Oh man, $60 for that.
The cheapest, at about £70, has sold around 500,000. But something a bit more sophisticated could cost 2 or 3 times that amount.
It's worth me spending £200 or whatever.
I see.
Like that.
The salespeople freely admit that a computer won't magically take over your household finances. They tend to stress the educational value for children.
Atari. Boy, they were king. Yeah, there you go. The Atari artwork, yeah. Speaking of the devil there in the background.
What they probably won't tell you is that you just might find your relationship with the machine more intense than you expected.
So there you go. Yeah, the Atari ST, I don't remember that one, but I remember the Atari 2600, which is probably their most popular console system. I remember, let's see, it was Christmas, I want to say 1977. Yeah, because that was the year Star Wars came out, and I was at my cousin's house, and he got an Atari 2600, and that was when I first saw Pong on a television screen. Yeah. Then we played tanks, and then what was it? Pole position. Yeah. That goes way back. I was like 8 years old. Fresh out of Star Wars, out of the movie theater. I got a picture somewhere of me missing my 2 front teeth wearing a Darth Vader t-shirt. I'll see if I can dig that up sometime. I'll show you all. I was definitely weaned on Star Wars. Weaned off of my mother by going on Star Wars. Let's see here. All right. We'll do one more. Oh, what's this? My dad, Night Owl says, my dad didn't let me buy a video game console. He thought I would spend all my time playing video games, and he would have been right. Yeah. You know what's funny about that is my dad But when the video game console finally came to our house, my dad bought it for Christmas and wouldn't let us kids play it. So there you go. Who had the opposite problem? Stingy bastard. Okay. So I thought we'd go for a little more retro and look at, we're still in 1984, and we're going to look at how to send an email, use databases and retro computers. I know we may have watched this. I may have played this one on the live stream. If I remember, I'll dump it for something else. Here we go.
With the assistance of the outside broadcast unit, we will be linking from the database studio to their home. Pat Green.
That meant absolutely nothing. That's just what you call low production value.
And Julian, welcome to Database.
Hello, Jane.
Hello, Jane.
Now, Julian, I see you have your computer linked
Hey,
to the
Raymond,
telephone
what's
line.
up, man?
Can you tell us how you did that?
Yes,
Happy
well,
New
it's
Year.
very simple, really. The telephone is connected to the telephone network with a British Telecom plug, and I simply remove the telephone jack from the telecom socket and plug it into this box here, the modem. I then take another wire from the modem and plug it in where the telephone was.
Yeah, you don't need to know all that. What you do need to know is a modem is short for modulator demodulator. So that takes the analogs, the old analog sounds when we had hardwire phones in our walls, and turns it into ones and zeros to make it pulse width modulation. So the computer can understand it. And what's I guess like nowadays, they don't even put telephone lines in new house. Like my house, they didn't even put a telephone line in the house. Yeah, and I think my my last house, they did put a telephone line in, but I never turned it on. I never plugged it in. And that was like 20 years ago. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's see if this modem smokes.
I can then switch on the modem and we're ready to go. The computer's asking me if I want to log on, and it's now telling me to phone up the main Prestel computer.
All right, I'm gonna flex my nerd cred here. You see this this thing around the monitor? That is to reduce the glare. Wow, crazy how we because back then CRTs, you could get irradiated by them. They could like wear out your eyes because they were very strong.
Which I will now do.
So it's a very simple connection to make.
Extremely simple. And I can.
And for you older kids, he's doing pulse dial. So this dial, he's dragging the numbers around the dial and then it rolls back. It'd take you like 5 minutes to dial a freaking number, and you had to know the number. Unlike today, where like most people, don't remember their numbers, and the phone dials it for you.
Can actually leave the modem plugged in once it's done that without affecting the telephone. I'm now waiting for the computer to answer me. It asks with a tone, and then I just flick a switch on the modem.
Who the hell's this person in the back? His minder? Like, just look at this. He's sitting there waiting, or she or whatever's like waiting for this guy to screw up so he can like jump in there and just like rail him.
And replace the receiver.
The receiver, there you go. Mm-hmm.
And
things are starting to happen.
Things are starting to happen. The Prestel computer is now asking me to enter my own personal password, which I've now done.
Which was literally 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you saw that. I'm not even joking. He typed in 1, 2, 3, 4 on his computer.
And it comes up with an opening screen.
And Julian, can you tell me, what is Micronet?
Well, Micronet basically is an area of Prestel that's specially designed for microcomputer users.
All right. So this is before the internet, right? And the analog to this, if you're old enough to remember, would be AOL. So you would dial, but back then this was probably a bulletin board system. This is it was all a text-based system that you would dial into, and you just post messages, you leave messages There'd be like kind of like Reddit would be like the modern equivalent. You go on there and you leave messages and people can see the conversations. But it was a very, very, very small group of people. So it's not like, you know, thousands, let alone hundreds. Is probably maybe dozens. I wouldn't even see dozens. I remember I would go into bulletin boards and there'd probably only be like 30 people on there. And you could, and if you dialed in, they had only a certain number of physical phone lines. So like the big bulletin boards would have like 5 phone lines. So if they were all full, you couldn't dial in, you get a busy signal. So you had to wait till somebody would drop so you could get in and leave your message. Unlike the internet today where everybody can connect at the same time, like thousands at once. Oh, Telnet. No, actually Telnet is internet based. So, but in the sense that the terminals that you would use did do dial-up over phone lines, but it was not exactly like dial-in. It was serial communication. You don't want to know that, but anyway, it was over phone lines, and it was not Telnet, because Telnet went over the internet. But yeah, Telnet was certainly the next step after this.
It has a lot of facilities. It has a magazine-type page of what's new today, the daily news, reviews of the current software that's available.
Curated.
There's a latest page that people can write in. There are programs available on Micronet that you can load directly down the phone line. Some of them are free, some of them you do have to pay for.
Gee, even back then, they were trying to get you to pay for all that. Not the bulletin boards I was on. That's how I got me, what was it? If you're old enough to remember Duke Nukem. And I think before that was Castle Wolfenstein. And then those guys, that was ID, that was the company. They got super popular. Their Castle Wolfenstein spread through the bulletin boards. And then Doom came out, and that's what made bulletin boards like super popular. Everybody got on there just to download Doom. Let's see, like teletext, people used, I'll put it up here. Yeah, so I don't know if you notice all the swooshing around. It's like I can go between and like everything just moves around. So anyway, it's subtle. I'm just trying to get what I had working with the new animation, and then from here, I'm going to zhuzh it up a lot more. But anyway, let's see, Lily asks, like teletext, people used to book their holidays in the TV. Yeah, that was when it was more commercialized, more scaled. And teletexting was kind of the core technology that travel companies used to use. Because if you're old enough to remember, we used to go to the travel, or you call the company to book your travel. A travel agent. Yes, thank you. We don't have travel agents anymore. The internet killed that off. So, I mean, that's another perfect example of how e-commerce came in and wiped out tons of jobs, but all kinds of new jobs were created as a result of that. And, you know, assuming history repeats itself, the same thing is going to happen with AI. There'll be, you know, that transition period where everybody loses their job, or many people will be displaced by AI, but eventually they'll start to figure out how to really make that crap like work and make a lot of money, find all the new problems, and hire all the new people with the new jobs to figure out all those new problems. So it's that transition period I'm not looking forward to. But anyway, let's get back to the video. Let's see it. Let's read this menu here. Yeah, so in order to get to this menu, see, you don't have a mouse back then. So you couldn't even like move like a little rectangular cursor around. You would punch these numbers in. And that's literally where the term menu comes from, where you'd have this list of numbers with the title, punch in the number, press enter, boom. And then that would either take you to the next section, or you can see here where it says 9 main menu. So you push the number 9, that would take him up to the menu, to the next menu up. Right. So, yeah, that's how your boy Jacob got around on the computers without the mouse back in the day. And we didn't even have windows, the idea where you can drag windows around on the screen so you can go, oh, well, I don't want to work on this. I'll put that behind, or I'll minimize it. you had to go through the menus. So there was a lot of reading and a lot of like bouncing around and going back and forth to figure out where the freak you were anywhere in programs. It was terrible. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
Now, Pat, whose computer is it?
Well, it's a cooperative, really. We all have a...
Oh, my guess was the name was Lenny, but it's Pat. There you go. Still a little androgynous, but catch my drift, don't you?
...part share, but Julian and I mainly use it.
And why did you buy a computer?
Well, I was very interested in the new technology and didn't want to be left behind. I don't think it's only for the youngsters at school now. I think us older ones will have to learn a lot about it.
And what do you use the computer for?
Well, for keeping household records, such as what I have in the freezer and people's telephone numbers. And
she hadn't discovered the femdom chat rooms yet.
addresses. I use it as a word processor for my letters, which always come out perfect now. And the most exciting thing I find is the mailbox where I write to other people on the Prestel system.
And who have you written to recently?
Okay, so their concept of email is totally different. So yeah, we'll just continue and then I'll explain more.
You got any examples?
Yeah.
It was more like the bulletin board system where you would log in somewhere and leave a message, and you could address it to somebody, but they had to dial in to the same system to get the message and respond back. So it's not like email today where you have it all routing through different pathways and then it goes right directly to your device. Very different systems.
Yes, I sent a message to my doctor asking for a repeat prescription, and
that's cool. I didn't know you could do that back then.
He's left the prescription for me in the chemist.
From Dr. Davis, or that's all the doctors, Monday, May 14th, 1984, to Mr. and Mrs. Green. Your script will be delivered to the chemist at 11 a.m. Ann Hamilton. Secretary to Dr. Neville Davis. I'm glad I paused this because this is something that was very common back then. When messaging started getting more commercial, you often had people sending on your behalf because the person that needed the communication actually didn't know how to use the email, mainly probably because they were much older. I remember when I worked in the music industry, a lot of the record label presidents were much older, and they were trying to get on this internet thing, and they were so slow with computers that they had their secretary print out their email, and they would respond back on pencil or paper on the paper on their email, take that stack of all the responses, give it back to the secretary, and then the secretary would type the response off the written response off the paper and send it out. Oh, yeah. So it would often take days to get responses back to my my peers in the music industry back then. Yes, Lily, a pertinent question. I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say no. She probably would be, what's the most DEI friendly way I can put this? She was curious, to use a 1980s term. I think in the 80s for men it was confirmed bachelor, and for women I think it was curious, if I recall. But anyway, so getting back to the screenshot here, you can see on the bottom there's your menu. Whoops, can you see it yeah? So there at the bottom here, there's your menu. So press 1 to store your message. Oh, and if you read it, you don't want to keep it, you can erase it, right? So everything was that number-based menu system. No mice. And that hashtag at the bottom, that is not a misspelled hashtag. That's actually, in the old days, that's how you would mark your messages that they're done. You reached the end. Man, that's crazy how this shit's coming back to me. I'm old.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Pat and Julian. We'll be seeing you later in the programme.
Bye, Jane.
If you have anything you want to say to us here on Database and you're connected to the Prestel service, you can use the database mailbox. Pat Green is still with us in North London, and she's going to demonstrate this facility by sending us a message. Hello, Pat.
Hello, Jane.
Can you find page 7776, please?
Thanks for stopping by, Night Owl. Have a good evening. Happy New Year.
And now would you like to send us a message?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, so you'll see all the same basic, you know, from, to.
And I should be able to get the same message now on my screen.
I don't know if you caught it.
Get the same message
This,
now
this
on my
is my Hawkeye here. Hold on. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see it if it's coming out on the stream, but this is blocked out. They must have edited this later, because I was like, how are they communicating in real time? It was like in the 80s, like I don't think they really had that. So they obviously covered her phone number and address, which people did put in their emails. And then this is her like non human friendly address. So that's how you would address it. So they didn't have like, it wasn't like emails, right? It was an inbox address. All right, get back to it.
And I should be able to get the same message now on my screen.
That's right.
And by the way, something's jacked up with their audio. It's only coming out of one side of my end, so it's not me. There's something going on with their old-timey recording here.
Thank you very much for your good wishes, Pat and Julian.
See, that's so weak. She didn't print it out using her dot matrix printer.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
If I want to get that message...
Actually, just for fun, for you younger kids, I'm going to see if I can find a... Here we go. Just so you know what a dot matrix printer sounds like. Those things were like super loud, but they had a very distinct sound. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Oh God, that's loud. Hold on. I got to share it for you. I'll turn this down a little bit. Whoa, that was cranked. Okay, here we go. So this is what a dot matrix printer sounded like in the old days. This is a printer test page on Windows 95. I remember that. But you see this right here, those little holes. That's not why it's called dot matrix. That was how they fed the paper through, and then you would tear these off, so you get your 8.5 by 11 paper. So this is how they were threaded through these holes. There were sprockets. They would go through these holes. But the reason why it was called dot matrix is because these letters were actually made of little tiny dots. And I think at the time that this printer was, it was a 10 dot or 10 bits or 10 dots to make characters. And boy, back in that day, that was some high resolution. I think nowadays we're at like 600 dots per inch, maybe even be more than that with laser printers. But that was the last time I remember looking up something like that. Okay, and then for modems, just so that you guys, know what a modem sounds like. If you didn't plug in the phone line and you listened to it on the line, this is what it would sound like. Here we go. Hold on, you don't want to see all my searchy stuff. Okay, here we go. So this is a pulse, not a pulse dial where you spin the dial. This is a touch tone where you push the numbers on your phone that are like that look like the same numbers on your cell phone nowadays. So you'll hear that, and they're usually two tones matched together on a matrix. Okay. That's the modem. That's the other computer answering, saying, hey, I'm here. Now they're connected. And it just sounds like static. But to the computer, that was data. Lots of data. Okay, let me see here. Where was I? All right, so let's get back to the show.
print it out, I can do that as well, just by hitting this button.
Oh, she's going to print it. Ah, see, I wasted all your time. That's an 8-bit one, but see the sprockets right here?
And there it is. And by the way, we've heard some rumours that Commodore are planning to launch their own rival to Micronet, which will come complete with a modem. Now, as we get some more news about CompuNet, we'll let you have it.
I think
In
that
the
was
meantime,
CompuServe.
if you want more information about Prestel or Micronet, then why not have a look at the database newsletter, which you can find on Oracle, page 182. That's page 182.
See, television used to actually be like worth watching and informational. Like you actually could learn instead of like the entertainment. Like this was educational. Now it's all entertainment. So even the news is freaking entertainment. All right. So I don't know. What do y'all think of the new animations? So you probably don't even notice it. I spent like so much time working on it. But yeah, so just so you can see how everything shrinks and grows, swoops around. So I just wanted to get everything set up so that it works like it did before, so I can do all the regular stuff, and then I'm going to add on a lot more with the AI characters. So the next phase is to start building out the next phase of my AI characters, and I'll let you know as soon as I have a new character up. But yeah, thanks, Lily. I appreciate that. Thanks for noticing. Even though I had to point it out like 20 times. I'm such a nerd. But yeah, I just wanted to do a pop-up live just to see how everything went. Sounds like, I guess we're back to where we were before. But you know what? I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming out and supporting me this year. It's been a real rough year for me personally, but a big growth one. Yeah, you noticed it after the 19th time. I appreciate that, Lily. But yeah, I just want to thank you all for supporting me and coming to the live streams, watching my videos, and just interacting with me. It's why I do all of this, and I really enjoy interacting with y'all. And I think I'm going to call it a night tonight. I do have to do work tomorrow, but tomorrow is New Year's Eve, so I want to wish all of you a Happy New Year. I do have a couple videos that I've recorded. I haven't edited yet, but I'm not sure that I will release one tomorrow. So I thought I'd just do this pop-up live, test my rig, let you know I'm working on stuff. I've got videos coming. And because I'm going to switch over to new editing software, so I might just go ahead and take the rest of the week to get up to speed with where I was with my previous program before I do, anything fancy. And then from there, there's just going to be a lot of improvements and changes, which I'm really looking forward to. But anyway, hope you all have a Happy New Year. Hope 2026 is a banger. And I'm really looking forward to expanding more of the live stream, using more of the technology, getting better at filming, lighting, storytelling, editing, all that stuff. And I hope you've got something, not a New Year's resolution. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't make New Year's resolutions. Don't make goals. Make plans to achieve those goals, and you'll get there. All right, whatever it is, push through, make the mistakes. And through the mistakes, you learn and improve. So that's my feel-good message for the night. I'm going to call it here. Everybody, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming out. I love love all your interaction. Thanks for supporting me. And if you haven't already, please like the video and comment below. Thanks, Lily. I appreciate it. Everyone, I'll see you next year.